What is up, everybody? It's your boy Bobby from Bobby's Breakdowns, and welcome to my first YouTube video where we are going to dive into the Halloween Ends movie. I just saw this movie and it wasn't what I was expecting, but let's dive in. This is a spoiler review, so if you haven't seen the movie yet and you don't want to be spoiled, click off now. So let's begin. First, we start by meeting Corey, the babysitter. Now, I didn't think Corey would play a big role in this movie, but boy, was I wrong. Then we meet Jeremy, the child Corey is babysitting. They have a back and forth, Corey makes a joke, whatever, Jeremy makes a joke, and all of a sudden Jeremy disappears. Corey goes to find him. Corey gets locked in the attic, so Corey's trying to get out, and Corey kicks the door down, kicks Jeremy, and Jeremy falls over the railing to his death. So next we see Allison in her new work uniform. She's working at a doctor's office, and we see Laurie. Life goes on. It's been a year since Michael attacked. It's the first time in Halloween franchise that we have just a normal Halloween, because it only jumped a year, so nothing happened, and I've never seen that before, which was kind of cool. I'll give credit there. So next we see Corey in a convenience store of some sorts. He gets assaulted by some band members, and Laurie comes to save the day. The bottle gets in his hand and everything. Laurie comes to save the day, and she gives Corey the idea to pop the kids' tires. So Laurie takes Corey to the doctor's office to meet Allison, and sparks are flying between Allison and Corey. Then after, Allison shows that she clearly has feelings for Corey, but Corey isn't willing to play ball at first. So then we go to the next scene where Laurie and Frank from the last movie, The Build Cop, they are flirting in the store, talking about vegetables. It's kind of a weird scene, but, it's just to show that they have feelings for each other. Then we go to the Halloween party where Corey's having a great time. Allison's having a great time. Corey's jamming out on the dance floor. He's got some moves. And then eventually they stop dancing. Corey even forgets the mask on the table to show, he's okay there. And next we see Jeremy's mother at the bar, and Jeremy's mother confronts Corey saying, how can you live with yourself that after you killed my son? Because obviously everybody thinks he killed the son. Then Corey starts walking home after a confrontation with Allison. They're talking. Then the band pulls up again and gets into a confrontation with Corey, pushing Corey over the bridge, falling to what they think is his death. But Corey is really fine, but the band drives off. The one bad band member is like, I saw him fall. It wasn't my fault, Then all of a sudden we see Corey getting dragged into the sewer, and obviously we all know who that is doing the dragging. Corey goes in there for a little bit. He's looking around. He sees the tunnel, and then all of a sudden, grabbed by the throat by Michael Myers. Corey's looking at his eyes, but Corey breaks off because Michael Myers is very weak. Then while Corey is trying to figure out what happened, a homeless man comes up to him. He's asking, why did Michael Myers let you go? He wanted Corey to go back in and get Michael Myers, bring him to him. Struggle breaks out. Corey ends up stabbing the old homeless man, and that is that. Next, we go to Laurie's house. Laurie is writing her book about how she's a survivor, how, Haddonfield needs time to heal. Then Laurie goes to look out the window, and the infamous Halloween scene, Laurie looks. We see Corey just standing there blankly, looking back at her. And I love that scene. In all the Halloween movies, it's fantastic. Now, this is when Laurie starts to realize Corey's no good for Allison, just no good in general. Then we go to a date for Corey and Allison. Allison's ex, the cop, comes up and, is asking Allison to come party. And, he doesn't even really care that her and Corey are on a date. And then he keeps pushing. Then Corey eventually snaps. They stand face to face, but nothing really happens. So then, fast forward, Corey takes Allison home, drops her off. Milani, the cop, follows Corey, and he doesn't do a good job of it at all. Corey knows he's following him, so Corey leads him to the sewer, of course. So Milani gets in there. A fight breaks out between Corey, Milani, and Michael Myers. Obviously, Milani did not make it out. So Michael, a very weak Michael, I should say, stabs him repeatedly, and he gets stronger. You could tell it's coming, and Corey's just loving it. Corey did mainly the work because he knows Michael's weak, and as we know, the more killing Michael does, the stronger he gets. We cut to the next scene where we see Jeremy's dad in a bar. He's talking to Laurie. He's telling him how he saw Corey the one day and he looked into his eyes and it's not the same kid that they knew years ago, and something happened to him. So next we see Dr. Mathis and Deb celebrating her promotion that, how she got it was very questionable. And Corey kills Dr. Mathis, and then Michael breaks in, kills Deb. The way he kills her is impressive. He puts her against the wall, he puts the knife in her body, and she just stands. She just lays there, and it's in the air, and I was like, I've never seen that kill in a Halloween franchise before. At least I don't remember it like that. And that was a very cool kill, one of the few bright spots of this movie. Corey and Allison hang out above the radio station where they're being all flirty and all that. Eventually, Corey jumps down just because, why not? And then the radio host comes out and is being like, hey, this is private property, but he knows who both Allison and Corey is. He mocks them and tells them to get off his property before he does some stuff. Oh, and then we see Corey sleeping in the house of Jeremy, and then Laurie's just rocking her chair back and forth. Laurie pretty much tells Corey she knows he's no good and that Allison will not be with Corey. And Corey says, well, if I can't have her, nobody will. Corey heads back to the sewer and beats Michael up and takes his mask. Now, we'll get into that, how I feel about that, but I was stunned, to say the least, that Corey beat him up pretty handedly, took his mask, and started this whole thing. Next, Corey writes something on the band member's car, and he lures them out to the junkyard where Corey brutally kills all of them. Then Corey heads to the radio station where he kills the blonde receptionist and the guy on the air, which he cuts the guy's tongue completely off. Now, I've never seen a kill like that in Halloween, which is going to sound bad, but awesome. And I was like, ooh, it was brutal. Then Corey, of course, heads to Laurie's house. Laurie knows he's there, so Laurie fakes a suicide attempt. She shoots the gun, then Corey tries to get in, and she waits there. She goes, you knew I wasn't committing suicide. I knew you'd show up. So Laurie proceeds to shoot the remaining bullets out after she shot Corey a couple times, and she wants Corey to kill her, but Corey ends up hearing Allison coming home. So he takes the knife and stabs himself right in the neck, and it makes it look like Laurie did it. Allison comes home. She's like, what did you do? And then Corey's just laying there, and of course, Michael shows up looking for his mask. Michael dons the mask yet again. A fight breaks out between him and Laurie. Then Michael gets the upper hand at first, but then Laurie fights back like she usually does. Typical final girl. Laurie stabs his hand and pushes it in so he can't go anywhere. He's stuck on the table. Pushes the refrigerator on top of him. Then she proceeds to slit his throat. Then just when we think Michael Myers is done, he grabs Laurie's throat. And in an awesome way, 44 years of flashbacks between him chasing her, all the kills, it was crazy. It was a nice moment for sure. Then Allison comes in and saves the day, shatters Michael's arm, and then that's pretty much it for Michael. Laurie slits Michael's wrist so he can't really do anything. Cops finally show up. Allison ties Michael to the top of their car. They're driving through Haddonfield. The Haddonfield residents are following them. The cops are like, you can't do this. The sheriff shows up in a nice cameo. He goes, tonight we can. So they take his body to the dump and put him in the trash compactor, destroy his body. Michael Myers is dead. The ending scene is Laurie continuing writing her story. Her and Frank are on the porch talking, flirting. Then we just see how quiet it is in the house. Everything's peaceful. End credits. And that was Halloween Ends. I wasn't a fan of the movie, if I'm being brutally honest. There were some bright spots. There were some not so bright spots. The whole Corey thing, I didn't really get. Because I went in blind to this movie, so I had no idea who Corey was. Some of the kills were great. like always, some comedic timing. But overall, I give it 5 out of 10. It wasn't the worst Halloween movie I ever saw by far, but it was slow in the beginning, and it wasn't for me. Like, if you guys enjoyed it, great. Sound off in the comments what you liked and what you didn't like, but I just thought they could have made it so much better, and I didn't think Jamie Lee would survive. I'm glad she did, but yeah, this is my first YouTube video. I'm super excited to dive into this. My next video is going to be a Black Adam review, The Rock superhero movie. The next is a Black Panther review, and I have a stream coming up next month, but we'll get into more of that at a later date. But I have a special announcement, like I said. I told you to stay tuned to the end. MLW manager and professional interviewer Alicia Atout has agreed to come on my channel in the near future and do an interview, which is insane to me. I asked her at one of the meet and greets, and she was super excited to come on. And I said, awesome. So look for that in the near future. And I'm Bobby from Bobby's Breakdowns, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Later.